Hi, it's Angie with News OK, and we're in Sherrel's kitchen. This is Sherrel Jones, who is the Passion for Food columnist for the Oklahoman. And we're talking about a family favorite, a Midwest favorite today. We're doing chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak. And I've brought a couple of kinds of cuts of meat that we use for chicken fried steak. We have a cube steak that's sold often. If you can find these that are very lean, they make a nice chicken fried steak, and it cooks very quickly because it's been fully tenderized and it's quite thin. And then this is a piece of round steak, and the top of the round steak, if you can buy that separately, is more tender than the bottom. This obviously needs a little more trimming.
Okay.
And so
you just get some.
I get some scissors because it's just so fast to do that, and it's usually around the edge.
Sure.
The divisions between the various loins in the round steak. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Okay. So then all we have left to do is season the meat.
That's just salt.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of, this is kosher salt.
Okay. And some pepper.
And then some pepper. I'm going to lay that down because this has to be ground. And then we'll turn it over and season the other side.
And chicken fried steak is steak cooked like chicken.
Yes,
fried
it is.
Like chicken.
Fried like chicken, yeah. It totally is. And then the next step is to dredge the steak in flour. This is just a flour mixture with a little baking soda and baking powder in it.
Okay.
And so what that does, it's going to help our dipping liquid stick to the piece of steak. So
and what is our dipping liquid?
This is egg and buttermilk.
Okay.
And what see how it's nicely embedded there.
Looks great.
Oh yeah. And then we put it back in for a second dip, and this is what I call the double dipping, the double dredging. And the nice thing about having a little container, if you have something that's about a little bit bigger than the size of most of the pieces of steak.
Just kind of shake it around in there.
Yeah, shake it around and then put it back, shake it around again, and then we get this nice piece of steak that's wonderfully covered. And then we go, I'm going to do a little tiny test to see if it sizzles. If my oil is, and it does, it's perfect. So we're going to put this in.
There you go.
Now, you'd probably be doing 4 pieces in a skillet this size, or 2, maybe 3. And we have the oil in there, and you can use some of the newer oils that are have omega-3s in them if you like, and that's great. I would use that instead of a lard or one of those. I think my grandmother probably used bacon grease to make this steak.
So we let this cook
for a couple
of minutes
until it's golden brown, and then we'll turn it.
Gotcha.
This part's the kind of a tricky part. You want to get underneath and turn it carefully. Try not to splatter yourself. It's a good idea. See, it's a nice golden brown.
Right.
And the grease is nice and warm. It's probably 350 to 375, somewhere in that range. And you don't want it much cooler than that, because what happens is the steak will start acting like a sponge instead of staying there independently. So,
all right. So now we just let it cook for another.
Till the other side is brown.
Great.
And then we'll be ready to blot it and package it.
Sounds good. Oh my goodness, it looks good.
Oh, it does. It's golden, I think, now on both sides.
Yeah.
And it might be just a tad underdone in the center. And of course, you probably, if you were doing this at home, you'd have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 in the skillet.
Sure.
It's important not to crowd it so you can do it fast. And if you have too many, you can fry it in bunches. And I could stick a couple more steaks in there if I needed to.
So now you blot it.
I blot it a little bit to kind of get any excess fat off.
Oh, okay.
And then I do a step which allows me time to finish dinner, and then I can put it either in a little pack in the oven and let it finish cooking, and that's a little more moist, I think. Or if you like the crispy approach, you could put it on a baking rack suspended over a cookie sheet like this. And it's just the baking rack, and you just lay the steak over it and then just make a light foil tint, not sealed. But we're going to put ours because this is the way the guys in my family like the steak. And we're just going to make a foil packet. Now, you'd probably have a couple. I wouldn't stack them in the packet. And I've sprayed this with a little cooking spray so it won't stick. And what the problem is, if it sticks, then the nice crust comes off.
Gotcha.
So we're going to make a little pouch for this. Just kind of chunk it down, and then we will put the pouch in the oven. If you have,
like that?
Just like that,
Wow.
on a baking sheet.
Okay.
And let it finish for about 10 minutes, just a 300-degree oven. If you have the silicone baking mats, you can actually lay the steak in between two of those and put it in there. But I don't usually do it that way unless I'm running out of foil. So, because the foil I can throw away and I don't have to wash.
That's true.
So it'll be ready whenever you are. If you have to take 30 minutes to do it, it's going to stay nice and warm and cozy in this.
You can do the other things for dinner, the
Yes,
salad.
make the salad, set the table, mashed potatoes, black-eyed peas.
Yes.
We always have.
Definitely. So. Thank you so much for more on Sherrel's
you.
column. Just look in the Oklahoman on the food section and you can find her column about the chicken fried steak and see her recipe. Thanks so much.